guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if it's your first time here. My name's Morgan. Today's video is going to be kind of an update and just kind of like a sit down and talk about mental health. I've posted some videos here on YouTube and talked a lot about this on Instagram, but binge eating disorder is something that I've struggled with for years. And I've posted some of my lowest points with it here on YouTube. So I kind of wanted to update you guys on where I'm at with that, as well as just kind of talk about, I think it's important to, as like an influencer and someone who has somewhat of a voice online, I personally have really enjoyed sharing my personal experience with mental health issues. And so I talk a lot about the fact that I am diagnosed bipolar. I have a lot of manic episodes. I do have like mild bipolar disorder though. And I've dealt with depression and anxiety for, gosh, since I was like 13 years old. So I was in and out of therapy for like basically from the age of 13 to 18. I was in therapy the majority of the time, and then sometimes I would stop going for, I don't know, a few months at a time. But the majority of the time I was in therapy, and this was to help me kind of work through things. A lot of those times I was in crisis mode. I would have panic attacks, and I would just basically feel like my world was crumbling. I went through a lot of trauma, I guess you could say, as a kid. And so I just needed the help of therapy to kind of help me work through those things and process them and digest them and be able to cope, really. And so as a kid, I really relied on therapy, like a lot. And I have to say, especially then when I developed binge eating disorder, being in therapy really helped me kind of deal with that. I feel really, really lucky to have had a therapist that I was already going to when I started developing binge eating habits. But I recently have not, it's been about 2 years since I have been to counseling. So recently my relationship with food has kind of been changing a bit, in a lot of good ways actually. But I've been dealing with a lot of change in my life and kind of instability, which is something that as a person with anxiety I don't do well with. And so I was starting to get more and more anxiety as life got crazier and crazier. If you guys follow my life, right now I'm basically jumping between Canada and California to be with my boyfriend and my family. And I don't really have a place that's like necessarily home. And so that's been, honestly, it's been pretty rough, even though I'm very happy in my relationship. I love my family a lot, but it's difficult, to be perfectly honest, to constantly be on the go and to not have sort of just like a place of refuge and like a nest that's just a safe space, you know, that most people would call home. And so I would notice myself starting to kind of get back to, I was having panic attacks. I had a few that my boyfriend was able to like help me calm down in, but when he was away and when I was alone up in the woods where my parents have recently moved, I was having to deal with it on my own, and I started to get to a place that I was kind of worried about myself. I never want to go back to the like lowest point that I was at when I was severely depressed and so anxious all the time. My good friend Sammy, who is here on YouTube, her channel is like all about mental health. She makes videos about other things too, but she makes amazing videos about mental illness. And she's like my best friend, and so she was kind of getting on me. She's like, you should really get into therapy, you should start looking for a therapist. My mom brought it up. I was talking with my boyfriend and he was like, yeah, like I definitely think it would be a good idea. And so the issue though, it was just that I'm constantly on the move, and so like my insurance, obviously, like it won't work in Canada and I can't go to someone consistently. And so I got an email a few weeks back from a company called BetterHelp. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard of it. A lot of YouTubers talk about it, and so I was kind of skeptical, to be honest, when I read the email, but they gave me the opportunity to try out the service myself. And so yesterday I had my first counseling appointment through BetterHelp, and it was the most amazing experience, you guys. This is a sponsored video. You will be able to use the link in my bio if you'd like to try BetterHelp for yourself. But I just wanted to share with you guys a little bit of the process, because I was able to create an account on the BetterHelp app, and you do this whole survey kind of telling about yourself and what you're looking for in counseling and the things that you're dealing with, and they match you specifically with a counselor that is suited for you. These are all board certified, licensed. The counselor I'm now seeing is a marriage and family counselor who specializes in eating she specializes in eating disorders, LGBT plus issues, and I think also intimacy related issues. So a lot of different things, but specifically the eating disorder was something that I wanted in a counselor. Basically, through the BetterHelp app, you can video chat, you can like call, like voice chat, or like if you don't have privacy or something, you can type, like text. And it's all done through the app though, so you don't have to have like FaceTime or Skype or anything like that. It's all through the app. So I did a video chat, and I basically kind of introduced myself to the counselor and told her kind of that right now for me, therapy, so in the past it's always been kind of, I went to therapy to deal with a crisis and to work through something that was already happening. Whereas right now I'm more self-aware, I would say, and I'm seeing myself starting to kind of go down a path that I don't necessarily want to go back down. And so I feel like that is actually a big step for me to be able to recognize kind of where I'm at, and to get into counseling and start practicing good habits that will keep me in a healthy mental state of mind. So with BetterHelp, like I said, there's, I think, almost 3,000 certified counselors on there that they tailor it to specifically what you want out of therapy. They're all licensed, and you don't need to have insurance to go with BetterHelp. It's much cheaper, and what's so nice is that you don't have to show up anywhere, which honestly can be uncomfortable, you know, like, but you can do this from the comfort of your own home. And for me, what's been awesome is that I know that I can have a consistent counselor. I'm going to be going to her actually once a week to just sort of work through things, digest sort of my week and what's going on with my life, and I just think it's going to be such an amazing thing for me. But I can do it from anywhere, from Canada, from California. I wanted to let you guys know about BetterHelp, just like regardless if this was sponsored or not, I genuinely believe like in BetterHelp as a product. It's freaking amazing. Whether you use my code or someone else's, I highly recommend if you're looking for a therapist. As always though, if you are in a crisis situation or if you are thinking about hurting yourself or others, do not use BetterHelp. This is not the platform. I will leave some crisis lines down below in the description box, but BetterHelp is not for a case like that. As far as my binge eating goes, I've made huge progress, you guys, and I'm really excited to share this with you because I have not binged in a really long time. I wish I remembered the exact date since I've binged. It has been months, which is awesome. I recently was really afraid that I had to do an elimination diet for my health. I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder called Hashimoto's hypothyroidism, which I posted videos about. And so the treatment that my doctor prescribed was an elimination diet, which wasn't for weight loss whatsoever, but anytime that I have dieted in the past has been for weight loss. Diet culture and mentality in general really kind of messed up my relationship with food and made me think that I had to restrict myself. And restricting myself when I was dieting always triggered binges. And so since then I've found, I've realized the importance of having a balanced diet and not depriving yourself of certain nutrients, because it really does affect your overall health. And I've suffered the consequences of that, like vitamin deficiencies and anemia and just other things to where I was not feeling good. So I was at the point where I recognized the importance of proper nutrition, but at the same time I knew that it was important for me to do this elimination diet. Now the thing about the elimination diet is that it is very restrictive. Like I said, it's not for weight loss, and it is not meant to be long-term either. It was a 3-week elimination to like take out things that could possibly be causing flare-ups of the Hashimoto's or chronic inflammation. And so going into it, I told my doctor, I was like, listen, like I'm gonna do this. I want to try my best at doing this because I know that it's important for my health and it will help me feel better. But I'm gonna be completely upfront and honest and say that I do worry about it triggering my binge eating disorder, and that's something that I am very afraid of, because in the past, anytime I've restricted myself has always led to intense binging. And so I communicated that with her, but the progress that I've made, you guys, is so freaking amazing, and I am so proud of myself. This is one of the biggest like victories for me in all of my like mental illness and health history. It's to finally be able to separate overall health from weight loss. And so in doing this elimination diet, I haven't looked at it as a means to lose weight. I haven't weighed myself. I haven't been worried about losing weight, and I have genuinely started to look at the foods that I'm eating as medicine and fueling my body basically, and wanting to eat foods that make me feel better. And restricting myself like I used to made me feel absolutely horrible. And so my relationship with food has just been really, really amazing. I still am having cravings and stuff like that, but there's a big difference between craving foods and just deciding that, no, I'm not going to have that because it won't make me feel good. And craving a food, like as in with a binge, craving a food and not having control to even say that, or not even caring how it'll make you feel. And I finally care, like, how I actually feel. I finally care about my actual health, not just how I look, and not just how the number on the scale, like what direction it's going on in. And I feel like I could actually like get emotional about this, but this is like, literally I remember in 5th grade taking, so my mom used to do a diet where they had like specific foods and stuff, and I remember taking those protein bars to school with me, and all the like other kids would have their like granola bars that had all the candy in them and stuff, and I would pull out my protein bar, and I always felt like I had to do something different. I always felt like I had to have rules in place for myself when it came to food. And like I feel free. I don't feel like food is in control anymore. I genuinely, like, I really feel like I am in control, and I'm choosing. Food isn't using me. Food doesn't have control of me. I am actually using food to make myself feel better. I'm in control, and I'm using it how I want to. I'm using it to work for me. I just, like, I'm really proud of that. And I haven't even, like, saying these words out loud, like, I haven't really digested this and gotten emotional about it. I didn't think I would until I started like saying these words out loud, but it feels so good. I guess, what did I expect from a mental health update, huh? I guess your girl's gonna get emotional. So of course I still have down days. That's kind of what I wanted to share with you guys, is just like with this update on mental health, is that I have been pretty like having high anxiety lately. I do have like manic episodes, and I have low days as well. I have bipolar disorder, you know, and I do feel, however, like I'm for the most part balanced, which I am hugely counting my blessings for. But I definitely, you know, that didn't just happen. Like I'm always proactively putting in effort to nurture my mental health. The point that I kind of want to get across is that you don't have to be in crisis mode to nurture your mental health. In fact, I think that's almost a way of preventing getting to a low, really bad, like, crisis place. So yeah, I feel like I'm in a really, really good place with my relationship with food. I know it'll always be something that is like an ongoing thing that I'm having to work on, and I'm okay with that because I know that I can work on it. Right now it's more so the being so all over the place, from country to country, from house to house, from, you know, I live a very like busy life, and it's a fun life for sure, but like I said, as someone like who deals with anxiety, it can be anxiety provoking. So I'm really excited though to have once a week to be able to check in with my counselor, to be able to talk about all of it, just to unload, and for her to help me kind of work through things as I have so much change going on. So if you guys do want to check out BetterHelp, you can use my link down below. Again, this video is sponsored. I just feel like this is such an organic fit for me to be able to promote something, because I am 100% going to use it myself. I have used it myself, and I think it's an amazing tool. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I just wanted to sit down and be kind of real and raw and give an update. I have lots of more videos in the future that I'm working on filming and editing, so definitely stay tuned for those. Otherwise, I hope you guys are having a beautiful day, and I'll see you in the next video.